Hi y'all, welcome and welcome back. In this video, we'll explore how to write a philosophical argument using the standard argument form outline. This method will help you create clear, well-supported arguments. A philosophical argument is simply a conclusion supported by one or more premises. The conclusion is your main point, the thing you want your audience to accept. The premises are the reasons you give to support that main point. The standard argument form helps ensure your argument has all the necessary parts. It makes it easier to test your reasoning, spot logical fallacies, and confirm that you have solid evidence backing up your claims. Okay, so here's the structure of this type of outline. First, you will write your first premise. Then you state the evidence for your premise. Why should I believe your premise if there's no evidence for it? You also need to cite the source of your evidence. You'll go through this same process for every premise. Each premise has its own evidence and a source citation. It's even better if you have multiple pieces of evidence from various sources backing up your premise. You can have as many premises as needed, but for it to be a philosophical argument and not just an unsupported claim, you need at least one premise. Finally, after laying out your premises, the evidence for those premises, and the citations to the evidence sources, you state your conclusion, the claim your premises support. Let's use the example of smoking. My conclusion is you should not smoke. One premise is that smoking is bad for your health. To convince you, I'll need strong evidence from reliable sources. Evidence is necessary. Without it, your premises are just unsupported claims. Reliable sources like the CDC or the American Cancer Society provide facts that strengthen your argument. It's best if you quote directly, and you need to be sure that you always cite your sources. Let's go over this example. Here we have the first premise to my argument, along with its evidence and the source citation. My premise is that smoking is bad for your health. The CDC states that cigarette smoking harms nearly every organ of the body, causes many diseases, and is the leading cause of preventable death in the United States. That's persuasive evidence for my premise. You see that I cite the CDC so my readers can verify this information themselves. One additional detail I wanted to bring to your attention is that I put when I accessed the CDC webpage that I cited. Why? Websites and web pages change. In fact, the web page that I cited for this example changed since I first wrote the example. I had to find the new page with the information and update it. In academic writing, it's best to document when you access the website or web page that you use as your source in case the site or page changes. Do you need more premises? One premise might be enough, but adding more, if they're well supported, can make your argument stronger. This might involve researching other aspects of smoking effects like economic costs or environmental damage. My argument would be strengthened if I look for more reliable sources of information and add more premises. We need to avoid plagiarism. Always use quotation marks when directly quoting sources, and always cite your sources. This is true even if you're using AI tools or paraphrasing. Credit must go to the original author. Once you've built your outline, you can rewrite it into a smooth paragraph. Remember that the conclusion of a philosophical argument can appear anywhere, beginning, middle, or end, unlike an essay conclusion, which comes last. There are two different types of conclusions. In philosophical arguments, the conclusion is the main point being argued. The conclusion of an essay is the part of the essay that ends the essay. Keep in mind that often in philosophical arguments, the conclusion is at the beginning. Remember, in a philosophical essay, you'll have two different conclusions, the main point of your argument and the wrap-up of your essay. They serve different purposes, but both are important. Now it's your turn. Try building your own philosophical argument using this outline. If you're interested, take a look at our videos on writing philosophical essays. Alright y'all, that's all for this video. If you're interested in more videos about philosophy and ethics, check out the videos on our channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.